Hey everyone, update for Joy today. It's been a while.
Hello, peoples.
Obviously still doing the cancer treatment, and the main drug is capecitabine, and after a while there's a particular delightful disorder called
Red foot and hand disease.
red foot and hand disease. At least they're not pretending it's something it's not. It's exactly what it is. So, but of course, I assume they don't know why it happens.
Oh, it's because of the capecitabine, so I presume they do know why it happens because it doesn't seem to happen with the other drugs.
Right. So basically redness tends to be inflammation, so I'm going to check some inflammatory and immune pathways, and I suspect
When I suspected that my mouth was also going weird, I asked and they said yes, that can happen, but that wasn't on the list of, I'm sure it wasn't on the list of
yeah, like
symptoms
even
that I
finding it hard to smile at the moment, which you can imagine for Joy.
That's
Not
right.
adding a lot of joy to a life.
That's about it. I
Yeah.
usually can smile back.
So the last thing you want to do is not be, if you've got 4th stage cancer, you want to be able to bloody smile.
I can still smile, it's just that it's probably like a cervix that had been, so you have to have cesareans afterwards.
So firstly, I might actually check the muscles of the jaw. Are you getting any sinus problems or anything like that?
When you do yoga, well, of course, sinuses.
Oh, your head fills up when you do yoga?
Yeah, but that happens sometimes when I'm here too.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we need, anyway, I know you don't want to take more supplements, but NAC is anti-mucolytic. It helps to break down mucus and get it out of the body. Anyway, I wonder whether some before yoga might help. Anyway, just a thought. Okay.
Now, what are we looking for?
Now stack in your little tootsies.
Stacking them.
Yeah. In kinesiology speak, it's like save. So I'm saving in your feet, saving in your hands.
I would have thought it was more like Dan Andrews stacking.
Oh, don't even go there. Our delightful Dan.
Oh, we don't live in bloody Victoria, that's a start.
How are you? Voting towards communism, you?
What are you stacking me for what?
Just firstly, I'm just stacking the tissues of the feet and hands, and that's all locking. Feel that they're all locking. So they're all staying. So now so even when I stacked in the feet, the hands and the jaw, now let's ask around the capecitabine. And hold. Ah, there it goes. Okay, hold, right. Hold. Which is just interesting to me because it says if it was just something like, say, peripheral neuropathy, the feet would show up. So that's neuropathy, pain in your extremities. So yes, you've got pain in your extremities, but the feet and the hands didn't show up, whereas capecitabine did. So your immune system and inflammatory pathways aren't keeping up with the dose of capecitabine. Which is why, so in good old homeopathy, they always talk about the body and its detoxing ability. And the body will often send toxins away from the heart to the rest of the body. So your hands and your feet and brain, they're the rest of your body.
And my mouth?
Yeah, because it's the extremity.
Wow. My mouth feels dry. My lips feel dry like you've been out in the sun for 3 hours and didn't have a drink of water.
Yeah, right.
But even when you have a drink of water or any amount of water, or lick your lips or put lipstick on, you still have an incredibly dry mouth.
Yeah, right.
And of course, if you're not careful with the size of stuff you put in your mouth or put in the right place, that can hurt as well. But the things that they expected me to get was diarrhea. Most likely symptoms were diarrhea. So of course I've got constipation and little.
So the liver's struggling with the capecitabine first. So I'll just stimulate the liver pathways. So even with all the supplements, it's a hefty drug. This is the problem.
Is my liver what?
It's struggling with the dose of capecitabine. So if your liver doesn't cope with a drug, then it ends up storing it. So it's like a big bottleneck. So you end up getting all this capecitabine residual drug.
That's why my liver or something has been feeling like I was not 6 months pregnant.
Oh, it's not going to be helping. Absolutely. I'll stack in your tummy.
I would have shit stacked there already.
Just waking up the liver. So are you on weeks on or weeks off with capecitabine at the moment?
Well, I felt so sick one night I didn't have it, so I had a dose this morning and I should have finished last night. I may have should have finished bloody after one dose on Tuesday, I don't know. But I had one dose that I had this morning because they got rid of more. But I know that one night I told Doug that I was too crook to take any.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have started. Might have been supposed to start on a Tuesday morning, or I couldn't, but maybe I was supposed to start on a Tuesday night after I read the PA and didn't start till Wednesday morning.
So in relation to the capecitabine, and hold, 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 hold. Specific inflammatory blockages associated with the capecitabine. Hold, hold, okay, hold, hold. Right, so in this case, the left side is associated with pathology, the right side's to do with intolerances, so it's like the body's building up an intolerance to capecitabine. So we just need to get your body to recognise it again. If you're going to be on nasty drugs, we want you to get the best you can out of them.
Ah.
You know, so if you're building up a
Resistance to them.
yeah, then that doesn't help at all, because it means every time you take it, your whole body will treat it like it's a murderer and go, holy crap, what are you doing to me? We don't want you to do that in relation to a drug that's supposedly going to help save your life, because that would suck.
That's probably why they didn't want me to take any supplements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Well, that won't be helping. But yeah, the same thing can happen.
Did we send you the last lot of blood tests?
Yeah, I think your liver was a bit crap and your immune system was a bit crap.
Oh, was it? They were happy with it.
Of course they are. They're expecting you to be dead. Anything better than that, they say, hey, go. Kidneys are struggling. So kidneys are the last stage of inflammation. So, you know, so what your gut breaks down helps deal with inflammation in your body. Then if the gut's working but the liver blocks up, then that's the second one. The third one's the immune system. It's supposed to be out there cleaning up all the crap, so to speak, not the actual crap. And then the kidneys is the last. So the kidneys is the last stage for inflammation.
I need to get enough energy to have to do the lymphatic drainage again.
Yeah, your lymphatic drainage and hold up, and your juices. But you need to find an easy way to do it, hold. If it's too hard, you're making it too complicated. It needs to be nice and easy so you can manage it.
Well, the juices I find, I just don't like the machine. I don't like noisy electrical machines. I obviously was brought up wrong. They scare me.
Okay, so
That's why I've been having most of the dry supplements in yogurt. Probably flat out.
So your little Tupperware shaky things, if we could find a recipe that worked for that, would that be easier for you?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe we need to think about that.
Doug said that he'd do the machines, but I haven't got around to telling him how or anything.
Okay.
And he would, and he'd probably do it well. But Carmel showed me quite a few times, but I just still was frightened of it. I don't know why I'm frightened of it. I'm frightened of it. And I've discovered how to take the green juice, which I'm still flat out doing once a week. But that aloe vera stuff, the green juice, the stuff that tastes like black licorice, it looks like moss.
Oh yeah, the liquid herbs, yep.
I put all of them in the same cup of water.
Yep.
And drink it. I think, well, I can drink that because with the solid stuff, it's
Is it the texture or something?
it's texture.
Okay, so chlorophyll's amazing because it adds to your cellular energy, and mitochondria death is part of the problem with cancer. So as your mitochondria is the cellular energy. So cancer cells, as they spread, they kill other cells, which is, a big problem. But so do things like capecitabine. All chemo drugs kill good cells as well as bad. Which is why it worries me that I think when we do your bioimpedance screening, I think there's muscle loss going on, which will make you feel weaker.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I did it before. I haven't put it in the computer yet. I've
Right.
just got the numbers to put in.
God, I don't need any muscle loss.
No.
I couldn't believe fat loss.
No. Yeah, so the drug, because it's toxic, when we're toxic, we're more likely, it's easiest for the body to chew up muscle mass first. And in order to create immunity, we need good protein levels in our body.
Ah,
So the lower our muscle mass gets, the lower our immunity gets.
ah. So when you have a look at the whole menu, I think the only thing I could eat there without feeling like I'd spew would be chips. It's not a desperately good option.
Yeah. No, there's nothing. There's nothing in that is any way for longevity.
However, we eat a lot of scrambled eggs.
Beautiful.
I think Doug's sick of feeding scrambled eggs. We had pork chops last night. I did go to the butcher for the first time since Carmel left yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Though we've had one day, oh God, I must have been feeling like I'd never wanted to cook again. I went into Coles about closing time at night, 8 o'clock or something. And cooked chooks were on special for $7. And I thought, God, all the cats were objecting to whatever sort of food we gave them. I thought, God, if I had bloody 3 chooks, I won't have to buy anything for bloody cat or dog either.
Let me just double check in relation to the capecitabine. So that's picked up in relation to the inflammation. Let me see.
Is the liver inflamed?
There's some electrical. Okay, so there's an electrical. Don't stress. I'll tell you what it means in a sec.
What have you got in your ear?
They're earpieces.
Right.
Have your eyes been sore at all? Like, have you been getting any headaches?
Occasionally, but not very often, I get something here, which I really think is more a cramp, but it could be a headache, and sometimes I get a pain there or there, but
I'll
very
get your
rarely.
eyes off for a sec.
So really, I'm lucky. I very rarely have a headache, and usually, if I haven't taken any, usually if I do this, it goes away. Sometimes there's a little thing there, but drink of water makes them go away. I haven't had to take any. I don't believe I've taken any pain-killing drugs except your stuff since I got diagnosed with foot liver.
Well done.
I might have had some pain.
Yeah.
Bloody lot of pain.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going
Sorry.
off having this pair of glasses when I get new pair. This little arsehole thing here, bloody comes off so that it sticks in your hair all the time. So I won't be getting any glasses with fancy bits on the bloody edges again. Lost all my glasses the other day, and I got a pair, when they had black or dark blue glasses last, but anyway, I could read them. I could read perfectly all right until I was reading a book with letters about this big by a bedside lamp. You could read with a fluorescent light, but it was a bit tough on the bedside lamp.
So, did you feel how tight those muscles were in there? So that's a muscle called pterygoid muscle, and it's jammed, sort of like lockjaw. So, but as soon as these muscles are tight, then that can affect everything else in the body, because the brain is constantly keeping an eye on how tight the jaw is.
Why?
Because the jaw is about fight and flight. So as soon as
well,
our
I
jaw
still
is
feel like
tense,
flighting.
yeah, so as soon as our, last 20 months, what a surprise. But as soon as the jaw is tight, your body assumes you're going through a trauma or a stress or a fight, flight, freeze reaction. So it can do things like slow down your gut, slow down your liver, slow down
So
your
does this
immune
mean
system.
even when it hurts to walk? I don't know what you mean by what I'd be flighting and fighting about.
Oh, you've got freaking cancer.
Oh. Well, if I could,
And
if I could,
Dan, Anna, Jeanette, anything.
I'm sure they give me this. They make me sick every time I think about it.
Exactly. Yeah, so something about here keeps blowing your base chakra so you don't feel safe, grounded, and secure energetically. And I know it's not because of mainstream media, because you avoid that like the plague.
Oh no, I read the paper every so often.
Yeah, right, and there's visual cues everywhere in there.
Oh. I watch mainstream media. I said I don't watch the news. That doesn't mean that I don't see whatever program or channel you watch being told to get a jab to protect me, to protect little girls, to protect your Auntie Maud, to protect the people in the wheelchairs in your family. I reckon I should sue them, because they don't just say get a jab, they go, here, get a jab, and show you, and that always makes me feel sick in the stomach, because I have a severe needle allergy, so that I always endeavour to keep my head away, and it doesn't matter. And if you're not, there were a lot of things like Better Homes and Gardens or the Block, whoever that arsehole is, all of the people that are going around doing ads for the jab, I didn't probably watch most of their programs to begin with, but sure as hell wouldn't watch the bastards now.
Yeah.
In case you think that I'm not, that I'm all in favour of it.
Well, I just think it's the biggest experiment of all time.
It's even bigger.
Technology that's never been used before, never worked well on the animals. It's not working well overseas.
It's not. I cannot believe that so many people so fucking stupid as to still think it. Let's go and have again. Have another one. Have another one.
And right from day dot, our own government said in January this year, it will not stop you getting it. It will not stop you from spreading it. It will not stop hospitalisations, and it will not stop deaths. They admitted that right from day one.
Well, of course, if bloody Janet Young's husband is one of the people that organise fights, well, of course they're not going to bloody not use it. And if bloody Henry Palaszczuk's got a genomics, Anastasia's father has got a genomics factory, well, for crying out loud. Do we think we're ever going to get over it? Of course we're not. They're going to make them have jabs for the rest of their life, because that way, but I'm making money. Of course you're going to have more jobs. Bloody hypocritical pricks.
Yeah.
I mean, politicians who, in my opinion...
They're not keeping up with science. They're not keeping up with data.
They haven't
It's
looked at
really-
any bloody science.
Yeah.
But somebody has clearly... We would, with all the shit that they've done this year, we would clearly be completely and utterly broken, have no finance from anywhere unless somebody is propping up the Australian government. I think that we've got to be being propped up by...
Gee, who could it be?
Well, I'd say it's the people that make jabs and the testing things, and possibly even the bloody masks. But it's some of these big rich people in America or somewhere. I'm just surprised that Israel was so stupid. I thought Jews had more bloody sense.
Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Well, it is.
We're 9 months behind them, but our green passes are going out strong. New South Wales first.
What?
Victoria second.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Green pass, the segregation pass, the pastor says, I shall not pass if I haven't done your bidding with my body.
Ah, right. So they should.
We'll just have to wear our little yellow stars.
Yes. Oh, next thing I suspect that they'll say that rape is okay. If it's okay to go around making people have needles, it's probably okay to rape them. Okay to kill babies. 39 weeks and they can abort them. In America, up till they're a week old, they can't.
Tennessee.
You cannot actually abort a baby after it's a week old. You cannot. What sort of English language are they using?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot abort a baby that's a week old. And if you murder something that's even 3 minutes old, it's murder.
I listened to the press conference with the governor. I think it's Tennessee, it might be somewhere else. But it's just amazing how they convince themselves that it's, you know, because they say, oh, well, some babies are deformed and...
Yes, but not 100% of them. Mm-hmm. And this isn't saying only the deformed ones. There's nothing in there about, is it?
No.
So you don't want your baby. And I bet the mothers aren't getting anything for it. Do you think the mothers are getting the
I bet they're not told.
I bet they're not getting a bloody bit of it. Not the government or someone's making $500,000 for each aborted baby. I'll guarantee the mothers are getting nothing, poor bastards. God only
There's
knows.
been some fairly big exposés around it in New Zealand and Australia, different states of America over the last couple of years.
What do you mean, for or against?
Where they have found a lot of these clinics doing things that are absolutely illegal, doing it anyway, and the nurses coming forward and, you know, in criminal trials talking about what they've seen. Lots of them end up quitting because of PTSD, as you would. Just hideous. And this week,
For
Pfizer.
people like Karen Drescher and Michelle Rain and Hayley, all these midwives, what do they do to them? Are they made to do abortions?
I think it's probably done in a different place. I don't think it would happen in mainstream hospitals, but I don't know.
Right. I'm sure that Hayley couldn't be because she's, or Michelle, or definitely Karen Drescher. Karen Drescher only looks after them, the ones that are too little to go home.
I mean, it's worth a question. I'm just curious. You know, I sort of, like these days, I'm quite happy to ask those uncomfortable questions. Like
the reason I've always been against assisted dying, and I really don't have a problem, if people want to die, or for suicide for that matter, if they want to commit suicide, I've never understood why it's illegal. I mean,
why would you make it illegal? You're already dead. I mean, they're already not going to get into heaven, are they?
Committing suicide is illegal.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what that means. Well, if you're dead, what are they going to do? Fine your family?
Well,
anyway,
yes, they can.
I don't know what that means.
Actually, they can. They can fine you because you didn't. Well, they probably don't now. But once upon a time, they could have fined you for not stopping them. Okay, I mean, look at some of the people we know that committed suicide. I mean, they went to great pains to make sure that nobody was there, and when they finally had bloody half an hour to spare, they thought, what, here's me go. We used some ploy. Oh, dear me, my flat is empty, but I forgot such and such and such and such. I'll just go and get it. Never come home.
There was a whistleblower from Victoria. There's been a lot more suicides down there the last year and a half than there have been deaths from oodles more than COVID.
There's been a hell of a lot more suicide in every state than COVID. Well, it would be hard in Queensland.
What are we up to? We've had one this year. But segregation's kicking along.
Yeah, well, all the segregation is stopping them from dying from COVID.
Douchebags.
It probably exists in somewhere in the world.
Oh, no, it does, absolutely. I'm not saying it doesn't. But it doesn't mean the PCR tests are accurate, which they're not. It doesn't mean the jab's working, which it doesn't seem to be.
And I'm reasonably certain if you actually do a blood test to see if you've got COVID, you can go to jail.
$20,000
Oh.
fine.
That's about
And
the
I've
same as
actually-
going to jail,
yeah.
isn't it?
I've got one of my Path Lab clients looking into that for me because she's been working in this for 20 months and she has not had a single test request come through.
Well,
for
Would you? Would you request
the
a test?
natural.
Would you request a test if you're going to get fined
I
$20,000?
feel like asking some doctors just for fun. See what they say.
I don't know, and I'd like to know why Doug's and my phone ceased working
Yeah,
after we got
just
there.
a coinkydink.
Yeah, right. I watched Frost on bloody TV. He said there's no such thing as a coincidence, especially in
Oh, there's a
murder.
lot of coincidences this year. Look, I honestly hope
Are you working on Saturday the 13th
of what?
November?
I do have before Jimmy's party. I do have. I've got someone in the morning. I can't remember how many someones I've got.
It was just that Michael Thomas, I think, might be leaving about the 13th or 14th.
Right.
And I'm going to ring Jimmy. That's why I was going to ring Jimmy before. Jimmy, can I stay at your place on Friday night and maybe Saturday night as well? Because I'd like to see Michael Thomas on Friday night.
Okay.
And Michael suggested Friday night, and I know they're in the process of packing up the house now, and they're renting it out, and then round about the time that Jimmy's party is, I know that's round about the time they're going to live in Jordan.
Okay.
And that's why...
Yeah, I would love to see them before they go.
Right, well, I'll just check with Michael, but he did suggest Friday night.
Okay. He just sent me a message today asking if I was going.
Ah. Well, he might be there, but I know that he said on Friday night they'd be able to sit there and talk in peace and quiet.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay. Okay. So, so there was
We
a lot
did
of
get-
inflammation in the jaw as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sort of calmed that down.
Ah, so the jaw would be what is making my
Yeah.
tongue
So
feel. Does my tongue look like
Actually-
it's dead on top?
just do whatever you can. So poke your tongue out and then back in and squish it, and then poke it out again,
Is that what you mean by squeeze?
Yep. and then poke it out and then back in and squish. Okay, relax.
What does that mean?
Hold. Ah, because look, there's more inflammation when we activate your tongue. So these arms aren't working now, whereas
Oh.
they were working a minute ago. So that was the jaw, and now it's the tongue. There's women, there's a lot of autoimmunity associated with mucous membranes. So autoimmunity is when the immune system starts attacking tissue in the body. And I wonder if that's what's going on with your feet and your hands, because cancer is, well, it's not the cancer, it's the drug. It's the drug that's messing with your immune system.
Right. I think that when I go there on Tuesday, I think that I'll be asking them if I can have a couple of weeks off instead of one.
So you're going to tell them you want a couple of weeks off.
I've done it once already. I've
No,
had
I'm
2
saying
weeks.
don't ask. Tell them. You're entitled. It's your body, your choice.
Apparently when you have lymphatic drainage, you have to tell people that they have to, with cancer, that they have to tell their doctor in advance. And I said, okay, going tomorrow or something, and I'll tell them. But I had the lymphatic drainage first. And
Your
I
body,
didn't-
your choice. You need to get these down. You need to get this inflammation down so you can smile and laugh and be happy again. Because, why else are you alive? Okay, so in again. So poke your tongue out and just scrunch it, and then poke it out and then scrunch it. And now I know, don't only do it to just before the pain. So just stretch your mouth muscles. How's that pain level?
Well, it's not going.
And then scrunch your lips like you're a smoker. And then stretch them again. Okay, relax. And hold. Yeah, right. Another layer of inflammation. So we've done your jaw, done your tongue. Now we're doing all the muscles around the mouth. So they're all quite inflamed.
I reckon that my inside might be too.
Yeah,
The
right.
reason I say that is because there was something else the other night. I can't remember what this. The first thing that I knew when I figured that all the inside of my mouth, even though it hasn't got ulcers, which I expected it to get, I'm not, you know how you have a piece of corn and you bite pieces of it?
Oh, that's right. It hurt, didn't it?
Hurt like the devil. And I had something the other day. I don't know if it was a piece of meat that was a bit chewy and but it was something. Might have been bread. I don't know. It was something that was a bit big. God, I'm slack-assed. Haven't took my... Mind you, the people that you ring up and ask, would you please fix my teeth, get back to you after you made phone calls. But I lost that tooth before when Karma was there.
Yeah, right.
Probably several weeks before she left, but everything was just so busy when she was there.
Yeah.
Such incredibly busy. Anyway, it's still not done. But I don't like having a tooth missing. And if I die, which I will die before you, one would imagine, whenever it is, I'm perfectly happy to be buried in my glasses, because otherwise I look like some other bastard. And I want my false teeth left in, and if there are any weird people in our family, I don't care for my rings and everything. I reckon burying people in wedding rings and shit doesn't do something for me. But I don't think that anyone else should be entitled to my false teeth.
Yeah.
But I think that if I feel better in glasses, which I always... And if I come to life in the coffin, I want to be able to freaking see even if it's dark. I'd still prefer to have my glasses on.
Good on you. I listened to it.
I think that I read somewhere that you should also be buried with a dessert fork in your hand, because the best is yet to come.
Quoting old Donald Trump there. The best is yet to come. Anyway, I don't think I've heard anyone else say that the last year.
Ah. You mean you don't get it?
Ah, no one knows. No one knows.
I don't. I actually never went into it, but I could never understand why everyone was saying how terrible it was that Trump got in when the other thing was Hillary Clinton. I'm thinking, why the fuck would you want Hillary Clinton, for Christ's sake? I said, if I'd been there, I mightn't have voted. Or I might have voted illegally. And I said, or I might have gone in and flicked the coin and voted for that one. And people seem to think, well, why wouldn't you? And I'm thinking, what on earth is Hillary Clinton?
Our media really pushed pro-Hillary for the entire time, you know.
But
we've been very pro.
What was fucking good about... Look, what did her husband do? Wrote all the bloody stuff. And she's still married to him, so I mean, if he got in, he'd still be probably rooting the staff, whether they were agreeable or not, and whether they were going to keep the semen stains on their dress for the rest of their life.
Behave.
So well, that's what they claimed that happened. Have I got any reason to say that it didn't happen?
Negatory.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, I can't imagine keeping an outfit with semen stains on it. That's so fucking gross.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, do you still have essential oils at home?
Carmen sometimes put them in the bath.
Because I was listening to a podcast the other day, no idea who it was, but someone maybe it was...
I reckon it's a fortnight since I've had a bath with any of the stuff in it.
Yeah, right.
But it's just such hard work. I'm so tired.
Yeah, that's your mitochondria. Your cellular energy. Okay.
You get up in the
Which,
morning...
once again, all chemo destroys our
I was
mitochondria.
saying today that by the time you got round to just having a bath and getting dressed, you got dressed in your pyjamas. Oh, I go out a lot at night, so of course I get dressed. But
there you go. This is a new program for this body now and in the future. The old program for this body is no longer necessary now in the future. Hallelujah and amen.
right.
Yeah, so all of that musculature around there and the lymph in here. What I was going to say, I think it was Dr. Josh Axe, and he was talking about putting essential oils directly on your lymph wherever it's sore. So something like lavender, safe and easy, you know. So if you're...
Would any of them be bad?
Yeah, some of them you can't put on directly onto the skin, but ones like lavender are totally safe.
Ah.
Ones that are in 3%, like rose and neroli and jojoba, they're totally safe. But if it's direct oil and you put, say thyme directly on the skin, you know, rosemary and thyme, yeah, so if you put that on, you might actually end up with a rash or something because it's fairly strong.
I knew
Okay,
that.
everyone. See you later.
See ya.